presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson and the Adahi Itano program. Cars Plus kick off our holidays by supporting the Make-A-Wish Jingle Rock Virtual Run. Visit the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Guam and CNMI Facebook page for details. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it, and King's Restaurant, always open, always local, and serving up favorites for over 40 years.
Ahead on Primetime, a new executive order eases certain restrictions just in time for the holidays. Plus, despite being first responders and frontliners, the Guam Police Department has still not been placed on the list for vaccinations. And a 19-year-old is charged for the murder of a 77-year-old woman.
Afternoon, good evening. I'm Adriana Cotero. There will be a slight easing of the restrictions for social gatherings come Thursday morning and for eating and drinking establishments by Saturday. According to a new executive order by Governor Lou Leon Guerrero, effective at 8 a.m. on Christmas Eve, the number of persons who are not from a single household that will be allowed to congregate will be increased to 15. The order also states that effective at 8 a.m. Saturday, indoor dining for eating and drinking establishments will be allowed for up to 25% of capacity. There will be a limit, though, of 6 persons seated together with 6 feet of distance between tables. All prior orders are still in effect, and Guam will remain in pandemic condition of readiness 1 under a safer at home advisory. Last night, the Joint Information Center reported 27 out of 747 test samples from various labs tested positive for COVID-19. Of the new cases, 5 were identified through contact tracing. 1 case reported recent travel history and were identified in quarantine. This brings the total amount of officially reported cases of the virus on Guam to 7,238, with 449 in active isolation. 23 people are currently hospitalized with the virus, with 8 under ICU care and 6 receiving ventilator support. The COVID area risk score is 1.6. They've been out responding to crimes and exposing themselves to the community throughout the pandemic. But according to Guam Police Department Chief Stephen Ignacio, law enforcement hasn't been placed on the list to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. Guam Police Department Chief Stephen Ignacio is making calls to Department of Public Health Director Artson Augustine.
I found out that we're not yet on the list to receive the vaccine. I did express my concerns with Mr. San Augustine.
Ignacio is concerned for his staff. He says as first responders, officers are risking their lives day in and day out to deal with the unknowns.
The officers, I think, should be prioritized, that we go out there. We have had positives in our department through exposure to the work that we've done in conjunction with the public health department.
Ignacio says GPD officers have tested positive due to exposure at the quarantine and isolation facilities. Additionally, officers are responding to known COVID-19 patient calls from those who lose their battle to the virus at home.
Because they did not pass away in a hospital setting, then we now have to conduct a death investigation. And so we've responded to actual known positive COVID patients who died, and we have to go down there, process the scene like any other death case.
While Ignacio presses for GPD to be next in line for the vaccine, he says the decision is ultimately made by the Vaccine and Antiviral Prioritization Policy Committee, or the VAPPC. There are roughly 60 police officers, including Ignacio, who are willing to get vaccinated.
I'm hoping that, through my conversation with Mr. San Augustine, that we can elevate the concern.
As for the Guam Fire Department, so far 150 personnel have received the first doses of the Pfizer vaccine. Joan Oguncharfares has more.
According to Battalion Chief Ed Chaco, who is also the infection control officer for the Guam Fire Department, 171 came forward willingly to get the vaccine. This includes emergency dispatchers, the COVID transport units, ambulance, rescue, engine, advanced life support, decontamination units, and office personnel. Of the personnel that received the vaccinations at Okadu High School over the course of 4 days, Chief Chaco says no adverse reactions were reported. However, some did experience the expected side effects.
3 complained of headaches. We had 1 that reported fever. 4 people reported that they had chills. 2 stated they had body aches. 3 fatigue, 2 with abdominal issues, and we had 2 that had localized rash, but it was just confined to a specific small area. But other than that, there was no adverse or grave side effects.
And even though many of them availed of the vaccination, Chief Chaco says GFD will continue with the enforcement of infection control practices. He adds, having the vaccine makes them feel a little more confident knowing that their immune system is stronger. For the public, Chief Chaco makes a plea for them to stay the course and continue wearing their masks, practicing social distancing and hand hygiene. And for those on the fence about getting the vaccine,
whenever I go to a fire station or a dispatch center where there's been exposure issue, of all the pillars of well-being, your social, your spiritual, your physical, and your psychological, the psychological pillar gets hit the most. There's questions that loom like, is my family safe? Did I contract the virus? Is it too late? Where am I going to stay? How am I going to protect my family? So imagine following the infection control practices, getting vaccinated. Imagine how much at peace your mind would be if you were told that you came into contact with somebody that was positive.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Jonah Goncharfris.
Keeping with GFD at around 8 a.m. today, units respond to Espial Court in Liguan Terrace for a reported structure fire. The fire was contained to the exterior semi-concrete extension. Residents were able to evacuate safely without injuries. The homeowner stated an issue with a hobby RC battery that was being charged was likely the cause. The man accused for the deadly stabbing of Arthur Wakuk remains on the loose. Guam Police Department spokesperson Sergeant Paul Tapao tells KUAM they are following up on several leads in the ongoing search for Ronat Chotaro. Yesterday, GPD Chief Steve Ignacio held an emergency press conference at GPD headquarters in Tizon announcing the aggravated assault was upgraded to a death investigation. The incident occurred on December 8th outside an apartment complex in Tamuning. Chotaro is the prime suspect and has a lengthy criminal history dating back to 2013. GPD urges the community not to approach Chotaro. He is considered armed and dangerous. If you have any information on the whereabouts of Chotaro, contact GPD at 472-8911 or call Crime Stoppers at 899-0566. And stick around for more news here on Prime Time. You're watching KUAM.
KUAM News, winner of the 2020 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Social Media.
In Superior Court, a grand jury indictment comes down on 19-year-old Jeremy Janelle Alvarez, charging him with murder. He is accused for the death of 77-year-old Sue Cha Park Allen. The incident occurred on December 8th. Allen was found in a Sinahanya residence, face down on the floor with blood and a hammer near her head. According to court documents, the teenager allegedly wanted Xanax from Allen, but in return she touched him inappropriately. Documents state Alvarez struck the elderly woman numerous times with a hammer. He also faces both aggravated murder and assault felony charges with a special allegation attached for possession or use of a deadly weapon in the commission of a felony. Alvarez is summoned to appear before Magistrates Judge Jonathan Kwan on December 30th at 2 p.m. The 4 officers involved in the November 3rd deadly shooting are back in uniform. According to Guam Police Department Chief Stephen Ignacio, the officers returned back to work because of personnel rules. Ignacio says their maximum amount of administrative leave days has been exhausted and they are now back on duty. As we reported last month, GPD responded to a theft complaint at a Tamuning apartment complex. At the scene, driver Xavier Tatautau and a female passenger were seen in a parked car. Tatautau struck a cop car, resulting in officers opening fire. Tatautau was fatally shot. The Office of the Attorney General is leading the investigation, and just 2 weeks ago, the OAG reported the autopsy of Tatautau was completed. The man accused for the homicide of Luciana Pauly is expected to plead guilty. Katner, Harry, and defense counsel Terrence Timblin appeared before Superior Court Judge Anita Socola this morning. The defense filed a motion to waive Harry's speedy trial rights and told the court he plans to accept a plea offer. It was back in January Harry was arrested and charged with rape and murder charges for the death of Pauly. Pauly's body was found in tow by neighborhood children. The government plans to file a formal plea by the end of next week. A A further proceedings hearing was set for January 20th. A complaint has been filed in the district court accusing a JFK teacher of child sexual abuse. The plaintiff in the case is identified as GB to protect her identity. She is now 31 years old, but alleges that when she attended JFK High School, she was sexually abused by Hazel Basilio. According to court documents between 2005 to 2007, during her sophomore and senior year, Basilio was her history teacher, student government advisor, and basketball coach. GB alleges that Basilio would take her to restaurants, send her messages and emails, bought her personal gifts, and escorted her on off-island trips. She alleges that when she turned 15, Basilio sexually molested her on a weekly and sometimes daily basis. The sexual abuse stopped when she was able to distance herself after graduating from the University of Guam and began attending postgraduate college off-island. GB alleges that GovGuam knew about the alleged sexual abuse and molestation, but did not report it to law enforcement and did not intervene. Instead, they worked to conceal and cover up her alleged wrongful acts. In addition to Basilio, the defendants include Government of Guam and multiple unnamed Department of Education entities. GB is requesting for a jury trial as well as up to $300,000 in damages as well as attorney fees. KUAM reached out to the Guam Department of Education for a comment. GDOE spokesperson Isa Baza says, quote, "We are aware of the information and are looking into it. We are unable to provide any further comment at this time," unquote. And senators held a brief session today to vote and pass 4 bills. But even though there's just about a week left in the year, it wasn't the final gathering of the lame duck 35th Guam legislature. Nestor Lecanto reports.
Senators passed the 4 bills in pretty quick order. They include a measure by Senator Kelly Marsh Taitano to celebrate the 2019 Whanogi March for Chamorro self-determination on September 2nd of each year. They also passed Senator Amanda Shelton's bill to authorize tax credits for certain medical equipment at GMH and another Shelton measure to establish a senior citizens housing task force. Finally, they also said yes to Senator Regine Bisco-Lee's bill to also impanel a task force, this one to explore the feasibility of creating a groundwater conservation area on select GovGuam property over the Northern Lens Aquifer. But it won't be the last time this particular group gets together. Vice Speaker Talina Nelson.
I'd like to make a motion that we recess till December 30th to entertain anything pending before we close out this term at 10 a.m.
At 10 a.m. On that motion, we will recess till December 30th at 10 a.m.
Exactly what the pending issues are was not discussed. The Democrats, who lost 2 seats in the November general election, still hang on to a slim 8-7 majority, but have not yet announced the incoming leadership positions. They are typically decided ahead of the official swearing in of the new legislature, which is set for January 4th. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Coming up, we continue with Breeze Holiday Baking Club. Keep it here. You're watching KUAM.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your 4th meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Mas.
We're doing a good job, Guam. In the past couple of weeks, we've managed to keep the CAR score below 5. Together, we rose to the challenge when the governor asked us all to strive for 5.
In the past couple of weeks, we've not only brought the CAR score way down from being in the high 40s to below 5, we've shown the governor that we're capable of altering the course of this pandemic. We were on a path to uncertainty, but now because of all of our actions, we're doing better.
But better doesn't necessarily mean that we are out of the woods. We still need to watch our distance, wash our hands, and wear our masks. So please keep striving, Guam.
We got this.
We knew it was time to make these when we started asking things like, wouldn't it be nice to be able to get a warm cinnamon roll right now? And why can't this kind of muffin come from the same place as a McMuffin? And isn't your coffee lonely without company from a glazed apple fritter? Well, consider these our 3 resounding yeses. Meet the new bakery sweets at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Time doesn't stop, and neither should you or your business. Introducing Stroll Courier. Now you can have all your packages, documents, and gifts delivered island-wide without leaving the comfort of your home or office. Delivery has never been easier with our pre-booking and express same-day delivery options. Visit strollguam.com/courier and book a delivery today. Stroll Courier. Book, track, deliver.
It takes all of us to protect Guam. Join the Guam Visitors Bureau in our social media campaign series aimed to protect our island and each other in this COVID-19 era. Participate in the Protect Guam movement by wearing your mask, showcasing Guam's heroes, staying active, and downloading the Guam COVID Alert app. Post and share your content with us. Use the hashtag ProtectGuam, and you could win $100. It's that simple. Check out visitguam.com for details. Let's reclaim our lives, our economy, and our tourism industry.
Our service at Guam Behavioral and Wellness Center, which operates our Children's Division, also known as IFAMAGANTA, is absolutely critical this time of the year. Social distancing is something that is different and it's new, and it's causing a lot of people to change the way they interact with each other. We should all be taking care of our mental health, and there's nothing wrong with reaching out for help.
And now it's time for our week-long series on Christmas treats. So what's the point of having a baking group that bears your name if you don't show off one of your own recipes? Sabrina herself has a quick and easy batch of Russian tea cakes for you for Breeze Holiday Baking Club. So pay attention and follow along at home for these delectable snacks the whole family will enjoy.
Hello everybody, and welcome to my home, and welcome to Breeze Baking Club. For me, I usually make cupcakes, but what I'm going to be making today is what's called Russian tea cakes, and it is so easy to make. It only takes 5 to 6 ingredients and about 8 to 10 minutes, and you're done, ready to celebrate the holidays. We're going to start, first of all, with the butter. We're going to put it in the bowl. Easy enough, right? Okay, 1, 2, again, it is 1 cup of butter. And let's see, 1 cup of butter, and then you put the powdered sugar. So I have already measured everything out. And then we're going to beat this, okay? I haven't made this in a long, long time. So, I'm going to put this up. Recipe's on my phone. Now that I got the recipe off my phone, it is 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. After the vanilla, I was supposed to add the powdered sugar. Sorry, I don't think it makes a difference. So I'm going to add the powdered sugar. No, I did add the powdered sugar already. Oh my goodness, I already messed up. It's okay. It's all going the same thing. So yeah, I was right. Flour next. It's so choppy. Okay. So let's just stop here. I think I'm going to stir it. I don't know what I'm doing, but it's starting to form a dough, which is right. Okay, stir in some salt, and I think it was supposed to be a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I don't know how much was this one. This is a 1/4 teaspoon. Okay, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Just stir that together. Consistency, it really is starting to make a dough. Okay. Now we're going to put in the nuts. It really is super easy. It seems like a lot of nuts. And these are Russian tea cakes. And Mom used to make this when I was younger. So, and again, I've only made this one other time. It's really starting to thicken up. 2 minutes. Okay, and this is where I pre-mix it and add in my coconut, just because I like coconut. Okay. So this is the easy part. So out of the way. Make it pretty sheet. Ungreased, alright? And you make little balls. Done playing with the balls. I'm making the balls. And so now we are going to put it in the oven, and it's going to go quick because it only takes about, what does it say? It only takes 8 to 9 minutes to bake. Okay, so now we wait 8 to 10 minutes. You take it out, you dip it in powdered sugar. And that is Russian tea cakes. After they cooled off, I dusted it off again with the powdered sugar. And look who's here. It's my little baby cakes. No, this is my boy Brock. Alright, so this is the true test to see if he likes it. You're gonna try one, okay? These are Russian tea cakes. Ready? I want you to try one and I'm gonna try one. They're kind of steady. What do you think? You like it? Mm-hmm. Really? I'm surprised. There you go. Russian tea cakes. They're really, really good. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. Right. That's good.
Okay, Bree, you're definitely gonna have to bring some of those in for all of us to try here. And don't go away, your birthday shout-outs when we return.
We rely on each other to be there in the good and bad times.
Parents rely on me for making sure that their kids are always in the best of their health.
The community relies on me when emergencies strike.
My students rely on me to move them higher in what they're learning.
Our kids rely on us to provide them with all the support they need.
For keeping us in touch every day,
for every call and schedule I receive, and for every emergency I respond to.
And with my need to respond in the timeliest manner,
to keep my knowledge updated.
For keeping us connected every day, we only rely on Docomo Pacific.
The only way you beat 6-month-aged cheddar toasted on the shell of a chalupa is to put it in this box. The Toasted Cheddar Chalupa box is back for a limited time, only at Taco Bell.
It makes
myself and it makes my team members very proud to work for an organization that has been on island for many years with its focus on reliability, dependability, and commitment to the communities that they operate in.
Matson's a great corporate citizen to the community.
We all benefit from any sort of environmental commitment we make. One of the ways that we do that is with our Adahi Utano program. There's action behind it, and so action breeds commitment.
With the Kaimana Hila coming to Guam, this brings a new age and modernization to the island.
It's exciting for me because it's a brand new ship and we can carry more freight into the islands. It just shows growth for Guam and Micronesia.
Matson would be nothing without its customers, and we hope to continue to serve you for decades to come.
While we've all been through a lot over the years, typhoons, earthquakes, and now COVID-19,
we've been able to get through these together.
For more than 80 years.
Travelers Insurance has been protecting your homes, your businesses,
and the health of your family.
We are here today and we'll be here tomorrow.
There are better days ahead. Tomorrow's a new day filled with hope and choices.
The possibilities of what we can achieve together are limitless.
Let's continue to work together to ensure a brighter tomorrow for all of us.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
Happy birthday just 2 days out from Christmas to Chrislyn LaRue. Happy birthday, Chrislyn, from your family and all of your friends. Also, happy birthday to Kaylee Emsley, who celebrates a birthday today. Uncle Jess and the entire family are sending you their very best. Christopher Metabusen, otherwise known as Bubs. Happy birthday, Chris. Have a wonderful day and God bless. Love, your wife, Tara. Also, happy birthday wishes from Len, Nay, and the Tatao Tao kids. Happy birthday, Bubs. Anthony Cruz, happy birthday to Ton. We hope you have a fantastic day, say Uncle Len, Auntie Nay, LJ, Sissy, and the Shots crew. And Gary Cruz rounds out our birthday celebrants on the December 23rd. Happiest blessed birthday to our handsome nephew. May your special day be full of happiness and many blessings. Enjoy your day and stay safe. We love you, say Uncle Joe and Auntie Bobby G.
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. And that's going to do it for us here on Prime Time. Thank you for watching. Have a good night and happy holidays.